Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Makeda. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first video from me, please subscribe. If not, thank you so much for coming back. Today's video, I'm going to talk about all my 2025 anticipated releases. I'm so excited to talk about them. So without rambling, please keep watching if you want to see all the books I'm excited for to read and come out in 2025. So again, I always have my list here. So I will be looking down to look at them. So I'm first going to talk about the books I are already out because I was supposed to do this a bit earlier in January, but I'm now getting to it, and it's current. I think today's the 21st. So some books have come out, but I still want to talk about them in case you've missed any of them. So the first one I have is Poetry on Ice by Jessie H. Rain. So if you've watched my previous videos, I think I talked about how I wasn't having the best time with Jessie H. Rain's writing. But she then came out with Romeo Falling last year, and I gave it 5 stars. It was such amazing writing, like poetry. It was such an amazing book. Best friends, enemies to lovers, and just perfect. So that kind of got me back onto her radar. So this book now is a hockey romance, and I don't think it's like too dark or too light. I think it's just like a regular hockey romance, with a lot of like spice and everything like that. And I don't really love hockey romances. I just feel like I read so many of them, and then I don't know if it was any other time before Romeo Fallen, I probably would have skipped this one. But because I read Romeo Fallen and love the writing, I just want to give another chance. So I have this one as an anticipated read, even though it already came out. I need to get to it because I don't know, maybe I just want to ride that Romeo Fallen high again, which I doubt it would. I doubt it would measure up, but I want to read it still. Next, I have Monumental by A.E. Jensen. So this book is a another sports romance, so crazy. I think it's hockey, and this is by an author that I actually follow on Instagram. She used to be a regular bookstagrammer, and then she decided to write a home book. So now she's an author, and I think this is either her fourth or fifth book. And yeah, this is her first sports romance, I believe. So it does have Ace Rep, which is so interesting, and of course, we love to see it. So I don't think I have read any books with Ace Rep yet. I don't think so, but if I have, I can't remember it. But yeah, but I do want to read this one regardless because I love her writing. Her writing is really emotional, and I don't know, it's not her books are very just emotional and like just really good writing. So yeah, and this is her first sports romance and her first. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's her first. Actually, it could be her first age rep and her first sports romance. So I'm excited to try this one, and yeah, for somebody who don't like sports, I have a lot of sports romances on this. But I did say if you watch my booktube tag, beginning of the year booktube tag, I did say I want to read more sports romances this year. So the next one again, sports romance, is The Puck Chase by G.N. Wright. So this one is hockey again, and this is the thing. Why is everybody writing hockey? Give me some other sports, but that is beside the point. So this one is book 2 or 3 in our series, but the other two, I think it's two. I think it's book 3 because the other two books are MF. So yeah, this one is our first. I don't know if it's our first MM, but this is the only MM in this series currently. But it's Enemies to Lovers Hockey. And I'm like, I don't know, I sold, and I saw amazing reviews. So I just watching Rainfall, and but yeah, I saw amazing reviews, and the cover is so cute, and I was like, let me give it a try. Let me give it a try. And who doesn't love Enemies to Lovers? Like, Enemies to Lovers is always top tier, true. So tell me Enemies to Lovers, and I will still give it a try, no matter what it is. Next, we have Wedlock by Cambria Hubbard. So this one I already read, and I love this book. This is like the final book for the Westbrook Elite series. Whisper is my favorite one from that series, and my favorite book of 2024. So this is just like a wrap up of the whole series. So it has different points of views from all the characters on the books previously, and she just shows them getting married, and it's like an extended epilogue. So if you love this series, you will love this book. But if you don't really love extended epilogues, you might not like it. But I loved it. I love seeing Arsenal and Eva again, Bodhi and Coach. Tell me why Bodhi and Coach Loki stole the whole show. I loved it. And I actually, this is like my first time reading MF in a minute. And I actually didn't mind it. Yeah, that I love the MF. I mean, I love the MM more, but I really didn't mind the MF. So yeah, I loved it. Next, we have From Best to Bested by M.N. Bennett. So this is another thriller. So if you saw my previous videos, you know I really want to try the like MM thrillers. And so I've just been accumulating some of them into my TBR. I haven't read any of them yet, apart from Max by Bay Deckard. If that even is a thriller, I have no idea. It could just be it could be a psychological. It has to be a psychological thriller because that messed my brain up like soup. Like that book isn't that 2 books, the book and the sequel is insane. But This is another one that just came out, and this I try not to know too much about it because I heard that one has a plot twist and it's just like best to go in blind, which with thrillers. But I know that is has something to do with like underground boxing, and that is basically it. So I'm interested to see because I even asked one of my Bookstagram friends, and they were like, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Just go into it, and then we'll talk after." So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of excited. So I got the audio, and I'm excited to try this one. Next, we have End It All by Skylar Snow and Bria Alipo. I think that's how you say her name. So this is another book in the Vital Brothers series, like Mafia series. So this one, I don't know the names or anything because I've only read the first three books. So I need to read one before this one that just came out. So I need to get caught up. But I love this series. It's Mafia, like with an actually good mafia. Like the tropes and the plots are so good. Book three is my favorite because it's marriage are convenient. No, arranged marriage, and trying to find a good or just trying to find any arranged marriages in Mmromance is very hard to find, especially good ones. So I love that one is so much. And yeah, I just want to continue the series. I've been seeing so many good things about End It All, so I can't wait to get it. Okay, sorry if anything sounds different. I was just editing this same video and some of the clips, the mic wasn't working and I don't know what happened. So I just come back. This is the whole next day to like refilm. So the next book I wanted to talk about was Bloom Part 2 by Gianni Holmes. So this book, Part 1, came out last year and I was waiting patiently but impatiently for Part 2 to come out before I read it. I haven't read Book 2 yet, which is gonna, but I did read Book 1 last year in 2024 and it was one of my favorite books of 2024. And we met Bloom in Bay's Book 1. So I've been waiting to read Bloom ever since. But again, only Part 1 was out, so Part 2 is finally out. Yeah, come out recently, like a couple days ago, and so now I can finally go back in and read Ghana and then get to Bloom's book. So I'm really excited about that one. Bloom is a part of the MC. He's kind of been through a lot, so he has a lot of trauma. And then the other MC for Bloom's book is a doctor, and I don't usually like doctor romances, but I'm very interested just because I met both of them in Bay's book, and I really like their dynamics. So I'm excited to read that one. Next, we have Strange Lad by Michael Lauren, and this is coming out on the 21st of February. And I'm really excited for this one. Is actually book two in a series. Book one is Cherry Blossom Memories, which I recently met a girl on TikTok, well, Booktok, and she was bragging and just like begging me to read Cherry Blossom Memories, which is the book one in the series, and I've added it to my TBR immediately. So I'm currently reading a fantasy right now, which I'll talk about in my wrap up and in a video I want to do with reading new releases. I don't know if it could be a vlog because I'm realizing I'm not good at vlogs, but either way, I put it on my immediate TBR to read right after. So this is book two, again, as I said, and this I didn't really know much about what it's about because she only just started hinting at it. Really, I don't even think we actually have a solid proper cover for it. I think this cover is supposed to need just like a placeholder, but all I know is this series is about rock stars, and or at least book one was about rock stars, and what do you call it, like a lot of triggering, like it's like kind of dark, and like these are a lot of like heavy topics. So I'm sure book two going to be the same thing, and I think it's still going to be like rockstar based. So yeah, I'm really excited, and this author in general has been getting a lot of buzz, as well as apparently people have been loving her books like previous books, but I am now getting like aware of it, so she's on my radar for sure. Next, we have Limerence by Scarlett Drake. This is coming out on the 25th of February, and I'm really, really excited for this one. So, I read Hamartia by Scarlett Drake. Her writing is amazing. I loved it. And then, as you know, the book that follows me everywhere is Oleander. This is her second book, and I still have yet to read it because I'm scared for my life. I'm scared for my life to read that book because I heard that it's just like pain, pain, and more pain. But I need to read it. It's on my October. It's on my January TBR, and I don't even want to talk about it. But Limerence is her third book that is coming out now, and this is actually book two in this series, but they are like not connected standalone. They are what to say, even though they are part of a series, the books don't like the characters don't lap over. It's just a series about famous people in different like careers. I don't know why it's so hard to explain. Like different creative careers. So this one is about a rock star and a K-pop star, and then Limerence is about two ballet dancers who hate each other, but do they really hate each other? So enemies to lovers, ballet, and Scarlet Drake's poetry writing, eating it up. If I have a feeling that I will end up reading that before I even read Oleander, and let me just not talk about it. Next, we have the fifth and final book in the Bad Inception series by Ta Lewin. This is coming out in March. She hasn't given an exact date, neither has she shown like an actual cover. So I'll just show like the first four. But I've read the first two, love them, and I haven't read the third and fourth book because both of them end on like heavy. What am I saying? Book 3 and 4 ends on heavy cliffhangers, and book 5 is going to wrap up everything together. So I've been waiting for part 5 to come out so I could like binge part. I could binge book 3, 4, and 5. So it's finally coming in March, and I'm so excited. So as soon as it comes out, I'm going to just binge the three, and I'm so excited because this series is like basically gay gossip girl drama, privilege, like college. So it has the guys from not like the guys who are like on the bad side of the tracks, the wrong side of the tracks, whatever the saying is. And then there's obviously the rich stuck up kids who like bullies them and like treat them as outcasts and found family. And of course there's a Blair Waldorf in terms of like this like character who's very rich and very spoiled and seems like he just seems like a horrible person from the outside and he does some horrible things only to find out that maybe there are things beyond the surface that is making him that way. So I'm excited to finish off this series because I'm very, very invested. Honestly, I'm very invested, and it's been hard holding out. So I'm excited to get back into that series. Next, we have the book two in the Devilry series by Madison Devlin. And book two is called Mammon. It's coming out on the second, no, on the wait, the 4th of February. I am skipping around on these dates. I'm sorry. This is coming out on the 4th of February. And I haven't read book one yet. Book one is called Leviathan, but I've heard that it is pitch black romance. I'm like, I haven't read a pitch black romance in a minute, but I kind of miss them. I wasn't really in the mood for them for a while, but I'm finally like in that mood. I mean, my and it's still being too dark for me to realize, and I kind of getting a little bit, I don't know, like wussy. But I want to give it a try still, and yeah, not really much more to say. Just pitch black. Like I heard it's like dark, like no morals, like serial analyzers, but not vigilantes. Just like this, yeah. So next we have Never Will I Ever by Series C, and this is book four in the later new series. It's coming out on the 17th of February, and this is actually I won't say spin-off, but this particular book, Never Will I Ever, is actually following couples or no, following characters that showed up in Don't You Dare by her. And I have read Don't You Dare, and I am very invested in that because this story, Never Will I Ever, will be a redemption arc for a horrible character from in Don't You Dare. So even though I haven't read any of the books in the later new series, I feel like I could still get away with reading this book because I've read Don't You Dare and I know the character and I know what he did in Don't You Dare and yada yada yada. But I do want to try getting into the later new series. I DNF'd Iced Out, but I think it was a me thing, honestly. So I don't want to give that a try. And if not, I'll just skip to Court Stealing. But if I don't get to any of them, I will get to Never Will I Ever because I love a good redemption arc. And he was a horrible, horrible homophobic piece of in Don't You Dare. So yeah. Next, we have Friends on Hockey by S. Legend. It's coming out on the 28th of February, and I am on my knees for this book. I did not love the first two books in this Heartbreak Hockey series, but I loved book three. I didn't like book one. I liked book two, and I loved book three. And the crumbs that she left for book four, which is this one coming out now, have me on my knees. So it's gonna be unrequited love, best friends to lovers, like pining because one is like afraid to say how much he loves his friend for a while, and the other one we haven't seen his perspective yet, so we don't know how he feels about the friend. But we know that he is actually on the verge of getting married to somebody else, and the friend who has been in love, who we know that is in love with him, is like, oh my god, I can't let this happen, and it's just like, tell me that it doesn't sound so good. Yes, it's cliche, and yes, it could be annoying because it's just like back and forth and pining. But I actually live and I love it. Sometimes it could be annoying. I hope it don't get to the annoying part. Like I hope that she doesn't drag on that aspect too long. But either way, I'm excited because just the pining, just the pining. Next, we have Kiss of Death by Mia Darling. So this is going to be part two of a duet. So it's going to close up a duet. This is coming out on the 21st of February, and I have not read book one because again I'm not good with duets. I prefer to read my duets when they are both like when the two books are out and completed. So I have been waiting for the second part to come out because I heard the cliffhanger is mean. So I've been waiting for the second one to come out so I can finally read this duet because I love duets. Duets give the perfect amount of groveling because you have like more pages to write. So the groveling is always amazing. Like so yeah, I can't wait to get to this one. This one is Mafia. I'm not sure the dynamics, but I think one of them is a bodyguard and the other one is a mafia prince. I think. But one of them is Mafia, and I heard the writing is really good. And you like, I don't know, it have a lot of mafia romances out, but some of them can feel very like cliche, just spicy, and just it doesn't feel like the actual plots are fleshed out. But I heard that this one is, so I'm excited for it. And speaking of Kiss, we have Kiss the Villain by Rena Cat, and this is coming out on the 20th of March, and I am so like I'm so excited. Every time she posts something about it on Instagram, I am screaming. I'm so excited for this. If you read God of Fury, you've seen there was a scene with Gareth and his professor, and they were like up against a wall at a supermarket, and Nico was like, "What are you doing over there?" And I was just and at first, she made it seem like she wasn't going to write any more MM in the near future, but or even that book, even though she left the breadcrumbs, which is like so mean. But now she's announced that it's coming out, and it's student professor, student professor. She has she just said like monster X something villain X monster psycho X monster something she put, and I'm just like I don't get, just give it to me, just give it to me, I need it. And I haven't read a good teacher student in a minute as well, so you're just gonna be ticking all the boxes, and I'm so excited, and it's gonna be duet narration, and I'm just excited. Next we have Don't Say You're Sorry by Bethany Winters, and this is supposed to come out in 2025, but we still don't have an actual secure date. So this is like book two for I don't know the name of this series, but I know book one is called Like You Hate Me, and I love that book. And this is like I don't know if she technically I guess this will be part book two of the series. I just can't remember the name of the series. But this one again, we've seen a lot of breadcrumbs in the first book for these characters in book two, and I'm so excited for it. And she just writes like spice and dark romance so good where like I don't know how to explain it. Just have to read her books. Her books, the I don't know, something about her dark romances hit, and it has that depth of emotion and not just like shock value and just like spice. It's just like they have way I don't know, just her dark romances are very emotional, just so good, and I can't wait for that one. So I'm waiting to see when we get the actual date, and I will let you guys know when we do. Next, all of these here is like ones that's supposed to come out this year, but we don't have any dates. So the next one is What Death Forgets by Thea Vodone. So this is supposed to come out in 2025 as well. She is a well, I won't say debut. Well, she is a debut author so far because she only has one book out right now. But this book, What Death Forgets, she's been teasing it, and hopefully it will come out this year. Her first book was Never Leave, Never Lie, and it was so good. It's like this couple, they are going through a rough patch while also restoring this like gothic mansion, and it's really good. I'm excited to see what she comes up with because I love the first book and her writing is really good, and the aesthetic she's been posting up on her Instagram is giving everything it needs to be giving. So yeah, next this one is Hopes and Dreams, that it will come out this year, but it's Every Bit After Part 2 by Jessie Walker. So if you know her, she's very famous for Exiled, which I love so much, and the Lost Boys duet, Where There's a Will, If There's a Way. Love it. Everybody loves it. Fan favorite. And she recently came out, well, last year, she came out with Every Bit After Part 1. And I have been waiting for Part 2 because, again, I'm not good with duets if it's not finished. So I will not be reading that, especially if it's slow burn, where, like, basically nothing happens in book one except for, like, world building and, like, the relationship building, which is fine. I love that when the second one is out. So I'm waiting for that one to come out, and then we could go from there. Hopefully it comes out 2025 because she's not the most reliable with dates, and I'll leave it at that. This one is just Delusion Town. Delusion Town, but Nyla K for the fans part two, or just another book in that world. I don't want to be the annoying person because I know she doesn't like that. So I'm not going to be like, Nyla, please give me when it's for. I'm not going to be like that. But whenever she chooses to bring it out, because Nyla is mother and mother knows best, I will be the first one to get that book. Yes, I will. So I cannot wait for whenever it comes out. I cannot wait, or whatever book next book she comes out with in general, or the fragments audio. Any of these things, anything that Nyla K is bringing to us in 2025, I am going to just absorb it into my brain, into my brains. I'm just going to absorb it into my skin and have the best time. So anything Nyla K, I'm so excited. Next, we have Always Watching by Lee McCormick and R.S. Mackenzie. So this one, we're kind of getting back to schedule dates because I kind of write this kind of haphazardly. So I'm sorry. This is coming out on the 4th of March, and this is a like serial and live and camboy, which is like, need I say more? Like I haven't read a good. I remember when Camboy romances were coming out in abundance, especially when For the Fans was coming out. A lot of Camboy romances were coming out, and they kind of stopped now. But I cannot wait to read that one. I love Iris Mackenzie. Her MC Club series is so good. The Convict is the first one, so yeah, excited for that one. Next we have Hero Worship by Elle Eveland. This is book 5 in her series. People say if you like Only James Necessary Evil series, it's kind of like basically um basically very similar. So that book 5 is coming out. I haven't read the series at all, but I do want to get to them. I want to get the books on audio, I feel, because I don't know, it's very dark and these are heavy topics, and I just feel like the audiobooks help me get through them better than reading with my eyes. I don't know. Next, we have Barbarian by Only James. Speaking of her, this is part of her Jericho Boys series, and this is Best Friends to Lovers, and I think it's book 3. I love Palladium, which was book 1, so I'm really excited to get to this one. I need to read book 2 and then get to Barbarian, and it's an audio, and I love her audios actually. Then we have The Day I Found Him by Calliope Breeze. This is coming out in February. And oh, just to know, Hero Worship is hasn't been it just been announced, but we don't have a date exactly yet. And then Barbarian came out already. I think it came out yesterday. So The Day I Found Him by Calliope Breeze. This is coming out in February, but we don't have an exact date yet. And this is part 2 of her. I don't know the name of the series, but book 1 is The Night I Lost Him, and a lot of my friends are telling me to read it. So this is also what I have on my immediate table to like read next after the book I'm reading right now. And this is book 2 in that series, or like a sequel to it. And I'm not sure what it's about because these books are kind of like light thriller. So the plot is very important, and I feel like with that, I rather go into it as blind as possible, you know. And lastly, we have the More Men series by Ashley James. The first one is called Finn. This is a new series that she has coming out. Cowboy. This one is in particular is Single Dad, ex nanny. This is coming out on the 6th of March, and this is again her new cowboy series. So she recently had one before that just finished, and the first book is called 8 Seconds to Ride. And would you believe I haven't read any cowboy romances? I haven't read none, like none. So or I haven't read any cowboy romances. So I really need to get to that previous series, and so I could get into this one, or maybe I could just start this one because that is kind of intimidating because I think it's like 5 or 6 books in that other one. But I do have the audio for book 1. I don't know why I was sleeping on cowboy romances, cowboy romances. Like the idea of it is good, and I do want to read them, but I just haven't picked them up. I don't know why. I need to get my cowboy era, even though that era I feel like has lost me. You know, like I feel like people as obsessed with cowboy romances as they used to. I don't know, but not wrong with being a little late to the party. But yeah, those are all the books. This is so sad that I had to do this all over again on another day, but that's okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any releases that I missed, please let me know down below. And yeah, let me know how you feel about me doing it every quarter, talking about new releases that are up and coming. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video again. See you guys in my next one. Bye.